Martin TWOEX Jr., more like Martin TWOEX Jr. Yeah, I got that one from the internet, but I thought it was funny, so I thought I'd use that because why not? But Martin Truex Jr., woo! What a start to the playoffs for him. A big win at Las Vegas last week to open up the playoffs, add some playoff points, and then he does it again. He gets another 6 playoff points tonight with a win at Richmond. He had never won in a short track before coming into this year, and he has swept Richmond now. So big deal for him. I now regret not putting him in my championship 4 because he's starting to look really good. He's won the first 2 playoff races. He's starting to heat up. That's not good for the field. I mean, Martin Truex Jr. getting hot, that is not good for the field. 2017, I'm getting some of those vibes, those Martin Truex Jr. championship vibes. But yeah, and also on that note, Joe Gibbs Racing gets a 1, 2, 3, 4. Top 4 finishers all went to Joe Gibbs Racing. Solid night for them, to say the least. And they led a lot of laps. 109 by Truex, 202 by Kyle Busch. And yeah, I think that's it. I was about to say 89 by Eric Jones, but that was Brad Keselowski that led those 89 laps. But I missed most of the race. I saw the last, I want to say 150 laps. Truex did get spun with about 80 to go by Ricky Stenhouse Jr., but he had such a large lead, he was able to get back in third by the time the pace car came out. So he went in and pitted, and he just had a fast car. He was able to get up there with about 20 to go. Martin Truex Jr. made a pass for the lead on teammate Kyle Busch. Kyle Busch did win stage 2, so he did get a playoff point out of this, but obviously he wanted to win that race, especially after last week's performance. They had a rough week. But yeah, Martin Truex Jr. got his 6th win of the year, continues to carry that momentum in the playoffs, and he goes down. Man, that's good for them. They've got a lot of playoff points now. They had 28 entering the playoffs. Now they probably have 40 or so. That's a big deal to add up those playoff points, as I've talked about multiple times. But Joe Gibbs Racing, great race for them overall. Truex obviously with the win, but Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin, Eric Jones all getting top 4s. Eric Jones needed it for the points, so that was a really good run for him. And then Hamlin, obviously just a solid enough day to build up on the gap. Brad Keselowski finished 5th. He started on pole, led 89 laps on the day. Solid day for him. Good points day, so I'll go into the standings later in this video. This was a really impressive run. Ryan Newman ran up front most of what I saw back half of the race. He was running top 5, top 3. I mean, he had a fast car today. He was very impressive. I was impressed with him today. So good job, Ryan Newman. Gets himself some good, solid points. Good points day for him. Good run for them. They needed that. That's really good that car's having speed at the right time. Kyle Larson finishes 7th. Good, solid points day for him. 8th, Kevin Harvick. Not exactly the run they would have had with where they started, but a good, solid points day. 9th, Clint Boyer. Good points day for him. Gets 35 points, finishes in the top 10. 10th, Daniel Suarez, our first non-playoff driver in the finishing results. 11th, Jimmy Johnson. 12th, Joey Logano. 13th, a very good run for Bubba Wallace. He's had a couple of very good runs here recently. That 3rd at Indianapolis, and now 13th at Richmond. Not a bad run for that 43 team. 14th, Chase Elliott. Not the best day for him. 15th, Matt DiBenedetto. Going to a track where I picked him to win next week, the Roval. I expect him to perform well there as one of the top non-playoff drivers, and maybe one of the top drivers overall to finish up that race. 16th, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. He was the one that dumped Martin Truex Jr. I think he just got loose and just kind of went up into him in all the traffic and stuff. I'm sure Truex wasn't happy. I didn't hear the radio or anything, but I'm sure he wasn't happy because obviously you get dumped from the lead. You're not going to be happy. But he ends up getting a 16th place. I think later in the race when Truex was lapping him, Stenhouse kind of got out of the way. He was like, hey, I'm sorry, man. Here, I'll make it up to you. Just go past me, no problem. So made it up to him a little bit there. 17th, Eric Almirola, not the day he wanted to have. Same with 18th, Ryan Blaney, and 19th, Kurt Busch. Kurt Busch, man, he had all those playoff points, and he's going into a little desperation mode into the Roval, and that is not a place you need to be desperate because the Roval can be chaotic, as we saw last year. There's one example of the Roval in history, and woo! 20th, David Reagan. 21st, Matt Tiff. 22nd, Michael McDowell. All 3 front row motorsports cars right there. 23rd, Austin Dillon dumped Alex Bowman earlier in the night I saw. and Alex Bowman was not having it. You can look up the quote yourself, honestly. I don't have it here, but basically Alex Bowman kind of said, Austin Dillon, you poopy head. 24th, Alex Bowman, terrible night for him. 25th, William Byron, terrible night for him. 26th, Daniel Hemrick, not good for him. 27th, Ty Dillon, not good for him. 28th, Paul Menard, not good for him. 29th, Landon Castle, not a bad run for him. 30th, Corey LaJoie, he could have done better. 31st, Ryan Priest. 32nd, Chris Buescher. Chris Buescher is much better than 32nd. 33rd, Austin, I don't know how to pronounce that. Theriault, I don't know. 34th, JJ Ellie, GOAT. 35th, Spencer Boyd. 36th, Quinn Huff. 37th, Ross Chastain. And 38th, Reed Sorensen. Now let's go to the standings real quick. All right, so I can't find the full points, but I do have the bubble from 9th to 16th, and this is interesting. You got Ryan Newman, 13 points above the cutoff line. Basically, if he has a normal Ryan Newman day run, gets him a couple stage points in there, he'll be fine. He just can't get in an incident. Ryan Blaney, he's going to have to get some stage points above these other guys. Maybe get a solid finish, defend his Roval win. Not in a great position now. This is where it gets interesting. Eric Almirola +3. Dude, you better freaking get some stage points or win or something. Same for William Byron +2. And then you got Alex Bowman -2. Eric Jones -3. So Eric Jones made up some points after his incident, or not incident, his problems last week. Is able to make it a 3-point. So close for him. Clint Boyer -5, and then Kurt Busch -15. It's going to be tough for Kurt to make up those points, honestly. Let's be honest. It's going to be tough for him to make that up. He could, but I think a win is going to be needed if these other guys, which I expect many of these other guys to get stage points. So Kurt Busch is he's gonna have to do something, but he's in a tough spot. He's in a really tough spot. He came into this playoffs with a lot of momentum, or not a lot of momentum, but a solid run for that team. The one car has struggled in the past, and he got it a win this year. He's been running the top 10 in points, and now they're kind of struggling at the wrong time. Top 20 today, which is not good for them. And then last week, obviously, the tire issue. So not a good run for them. But then on the other end of that, you have Ryan Newman, who is making the 6 car look amazing. So shout out to that team. They're something else. And then in the middle, you got all these guys on big teams who are just trying to fight for their playoff lives. And they're on these big teams, but they're just not doing too hot. Blaney, Penske, his other 2 teammates are doing fine. Almirola, his teammates, they're a little inconsistent other than Harvick, but then Bowman and Byron, they got Jimmy Johnson out of the playoffs, and Elliott, he's fine. So there you go. That's all I got for tonight, but sorry this is coming out late, but Texas had to freaking make it a nail-biter against Oklahoma State. At least we beat them. We haven't beat them in forever, so it's nice to get a win against them, especially at home. We haven't done that in forever either. It's frustrating, but that's not what I'm here to talk about. Just going to close this up. Thank you for watching. If you liked it, leave it a big fat like. If you want to subscribe, which you do, to see more NASCAR news, more other sports like basketball, football, anything like that. Just keep it updated. And you guys should go to my channel and see that Alabama A&M band performance. That was something else. That was impressive.